I want to show some examples of how to use the TI-30XS calculator to perform some fraction and decimal arithmetic problems. So for problem number 1, they have us evaluating 7/15. So I'm going to press the fraction key, enter the numerator of 7, use the down arrow to go to the denominator, and then enter 15. I then move the right arrow over. Next, I press the division key, and then I'm going to use the second function key and fraction key in order to access the mixed number function that's printed in green above the fraction key. And then now I'm going to enter 1, move the right arrow key to get the numerator 2, down arrow key to get the denominator 3, right arrow key over, and I've now entered the problem in. I press enter, and I see that my answer is 7/25. Now, just because I have this value in fraction form, suppose I wanted it in decimal form instead. All I would need to do is press the 2 arrow key, which I'm doing now, and notice that that turns the fraction 7/25 into its decimal equivalent, 28/100. Let's now go ahead and do the second problem, which is a mixed number addition problem. So I start by entering second and the fraction key. Again, that allows me to access the mixed number function that is printed in green above the fraction key. And now I'm going to enter in 3, move the right arrow key over, enter the numerator of 1, move the down arrow to go to the denominator and enter 7, and move the right arrow key over. And now I can enter the plus sign. And again, I'm going to use the second key and the fraction key to access the mixed number function. And I'm going to enter in 1, right arrow key, numerator of 3, down arrow key, denominator of 5, right arrow key, and then enter. And notice that my answer is given to me as an improper fraction. But suppose I want that as a mixed number. So in order to get it as a mixed number, I'm going to use the second function key and then this times 10 to the n power key. Notice up above that key in green, there is the fraction to mixed number change key. And notice that that's what appears on the screen when I do that. This allows me to change a fraction to a mixed number. And there it is. My improper fraction is now changed to a mixed number of 4 and 26/35. If I use that key sequence again, so the second function key and the times 10 to the n key, notice again it's going to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. So it changes it back to what it originally was shown on the calculator as an improper fraction. And then again, remember we can change that to a decimal value by using the 2 arrow key, which I'm pressing now. Now it's a decimal value. If I press that key again, it will change it back to an improper fraction. And again, we can change that to a mixed number if we wish, and so on. Let's go ahead and do problem number 3, where we're asked to find the reciprocal of 3 and 12/17, a mixed number. So pressing the second function key and the fraction key, which again accesses the mixed number function, I enter in 3, move the right arrow key over to access the numerator, enter 12, down arrow key to get to the denominator, and 17, and then I move the right arrow key over. And now we want to find the reciprocal. This key, the x to the -1 power, is our reciprocal key. When I press that key, you'll notice I get a little -1. Now hit enter, and there's the reciprocal of 3 and 12/17. The reciprocal is 17/63. I can take the reciprocal of any number I want. So let's do a couple of examples while I'm using the reciprocal key. So the reciprocal of 5 would be 1/5, and I see that on the screen. I can also do reciprocals of decimal numbers, 0.25 reciprocal. That should be a reciprocal of 4 because 0.25 is the same as 1/4. So when I flip 1/4 over, sure enough, I get a 4. So that's how the reciprocal is used to the reciprocal key is used to find the reciprocal of any number in decimal, fraction, even if it's in percent form, it'll take the reciprocal. It takes the reciprocal of any real number. Okay, I'm going to go through problems 4, 5, 6, and 7 fairly quickly because we've already seen how to do some of these things earlier. So let's do problem number 4. Convert 1 3/8. So let me go ahead and enter that in first, the second function button and the fraction key to access the mixed number function. And then I'm going to enter in 1, right arrow key, 3 in the numerator, down arrow key, 8 for the denominator. And I want to convert that to an improper fraction. Well, that's automatically done when I hit the enter key. So there it is as an improper fraction. And to change that to a decimal, I simply hit the 2 arrow key. And when I do that, I get 1 375 thousandths. So for problem 5, we want to convert 352 thousandths, which I've just entered into the calculator. We want to convert that into an equivalent fraction. So we already know how to do that. We use the 2 arrow key, which I've hit, and then hit enter. And there's the equivalent fraction of 44 125ths. So for problem number 6, I want to convert 5/16 into a decimal. So I hit the fraction key in order to enter the fraction. I enter the numerator of 5, the down arrow key to get to the denominator, enter 16, move the right arrow over, and when I hit enter, I just get the fraction back. But then if I use the key with 2 arrows on it, I get the decimal equivalent of 3,125 10,000ths. So the last problem I'll do from this worksheet is number 7, where I have 357 thousandths, which I've just entered, divided by 252 thousandths. When I hit enter, notice what happens is I get a repeating decimal with a 7 at the end. Now that's not actually a 7. There's actually more 6's that continue to go off to the right. So the answer is actually 1.416 with a bar written over the 6 to show that it's a repeating decimal.